let's go over the homework that we had for Friday's live class. So we did, I did a sum for you, and then we did another sum, and then I left you with two sums to do. This is the first of those two sums. So here we have a quadratic equation, it's a simultaneous equation where one is quadratic and one is linear. Quadratic just means that there's a squared in it, and linear means that there's no squared. It's a basic equation. And what you can do in this video is you can watch me do it if you want, or if you've already had a go and you think you got it right, you can skip forward. I'll try and leave a timestamp in the description. You can skip forward to when I've finished doing out this sum, and you can check and see if you got it right or where you went wrong. So you don't have to watch the whole video if you're pretty confident about the sum. So the first thing we do is I'm going to change the color of my pen, and over here on the right I'm going to change the linear equation to make it x equals, okay? So here we have x plus y equals 3. So I want to get the x all by itself on the left hand side, so I minus y from both sides. So you're left with x is equal to 3 minus y, because these y's cancel. If you're using the old-fashioned method and you're just bringing the y across, you will get the same result. Now that I have this, here, I can put that into the quadratic equation, the top equation. So I'll just rewrite that there, x squared plus y squared equals 9. Now we just found out that x is equal to 3 minus y. That means that I can put in 3 minus y where the x squared is, but make sure you put the little squared in, plus y squared equals 9. Now, let me just change the color again. What we have to do next is we have to multiply out this 3 minus y. So we have 3 minus y squared. So that means that we have to multiply 3 minus y by 3 minus y. And when we do that, we multiply 3 by 3, which is 9, 3 by minus y, which is minus 3y, minus y multiplied by 3, so it's minus 3y, minus y multiplied by minus y, which is plus y squared, because a minus by a minus is a plus. Now we can simplify this. 9 minus 6y plus y squared. And I'm going to rearrange it to look like all the other quadratic equations that we've been using so far. And rearranging equations like this, you can just move the terms about. Just be careful that you keep the signs the same. So I'm going to put the y squared at the start, and then I'm going to leave the minus 6y in the middle, and then the plus 9 will go at the end. And this and this, they're the same. Just the terms, the letters and the numbers are, the order's changed, and that's totally fine. You can do that. So now this I'm going to put back up here. So I'm going to go back to black, and I'm going to put it here. So y squared minus 6y plus 9. And then you can see here above, we still have another y squared equals 9. Okay, so now we can simplify this. So y squared plus y squared gives us 2y squared. And then minus 6y, well, we can't add or subtract any y's there. It's the only y, so it's minus 6y. And you can see here the plus 9 and the 9 on the other side. So if I bring that 9 on the other side over, if I use the old-fashioned method and I bring it over, it'll become a negative 9 or a minus 9. And the two 9s will cancel each other out, won't they? Or if let me just change the color here. If I was to balance this equation and I wanted this 9 here on the right, I wanted it over the other side. I'd minus 9 from here and minus 9 from here. They'd cancel, but so would these. So the number completely disappears. The number with no letter. So you're just left with 2y squared minus 6y equals 0. Now, we can simplify this, okay? We learned on Friday that we can, if we have an equation where we can divide the numbers in the equation to make them smaller, you can do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide everything in this equation by 2. And we learned that in Friday's class. So if you missed Friday's class, don't worry about it. We just learned it then. So we divide 2y squared by 2. That'll give you y squared. And then you divide minus 6y by 2. So that gives you minus 3y equals 0. Now, this is a very different looking type of quadratic than we have done. We haven't done this type. So if you got this far, I'm happy enough that you got this far and you've done well, because I didn't realize until I was doing it that it was going to end up like this. So what we do is we factorize this. So what can we take out of this? Well, we can take out the y, and we'd be left with a y. And if we take out the y out of the minus 3y, we'd left in y minus 3, wouldn't we? Equals 0. Now, so we factorize this. Now, how do we find out what y is equal to? So what we do here, and this is what's new to you, we let y equal 0, and we let y minus 3 equal 0. Okay? So that's what we do when we end up in a sum like this. Now, we know now that y equals 0 and y minus 3 equals 0. So let's just solve for y with this one here on the right. So I add 3 here, and I add 3 here, or I carry the 3 across, depending on what method you use. So you're left with y is equal to plus 3, y is equal to 3. So our two y's are y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 3. And now that we know that, we can come over here, and y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 3. Now we take the original linear equation from the top, which is x plus y equals 3, and x, I'll write it again, plus y equals 3. And now we just substitute in what the y value is. So y is equal to 0 here. So y plus 0 equals to 3. So 0 is nothing, so we're left with x is equal to 3. So here, our answer would be 3, 0. And over here on the right, y is equal to 3, so x plus 3 is equal to 3. And here, I'm going to minus 3 from both sides. They cancel, but so does this. So that means that x is equal to 0. So our answer here is 0 and 3. And they are our two answers. This sum is a little bit different than you're used to. So well done if you got that far, if you figured it out. But I'm guessing that you might have gotten lost at this stage here. Okay, and that's totally fine. Second sum that we had for homework, and the first thing we do again is we are going to rearrange the linear equation. So we have over here x minus 2y equals 3, and I am going to add 2y to both sides, or if you're using the old-fashioned method, you are going to carry the 2y across, and so you're left with x is equal, that's a slightly different color, to 2y plus 3. So now we know that x is equal to 2y plus 3. We're going to put that back into the original quadratic equation. So over here I'm going to write x squared minus y squared equals 24. And then we know that x is equal to 2y plus 3. So 2y plus 3 squared minus y squared equals 24. Now I'm going to go back across, and I am going to find out what 2y plus 3 squared is. And I'll just do it over here on the right. Here, keep some space. 2y plus 3 multiplied by 2y plus 3. So 2y multiplied by 2y is 4y squared. 2y multiplied by 3 is 6y. That's plus 6y. Plus 3 multiplied by 2y is plus 6y. And then 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. Now we can simplify it. So 4y squared plus 6y is plus 12y. And just a plus 9 stays as it is. Now I'm going to put this back into the original equation over here. So we have 4y squared plus 12y plus 9. We have 4y squared plus 12y plus 9 minus y squared equals 24. Now we can tidy that up a bit. 4y squared minus y squared would give us 3y squared. And then the plus 12y stays as it is. And then plus 9 and the 24. Let's just get a different color pen. So I'm going to get the 24 over the other side. So it's minus 24, minus 24. That cancels. So 9 minus 24 is minus 15 equals 0. So now we can simplify. We can make this equation easier to use if we divide all the terms by 3, because they can all be divided by 3. So if we divide all these by 3, we get y squared plus 4y minus 5 equals 0. And now we're going to do the guide method. So 1, because 1 is in front of y squared, multiplied by minus 5 is minus 5. And we want the factors of 5, which in this case are going to be 5 and 1. And how can we make 5 and 1 become plus 4? Well, if it's a plus 5 and a minus 1, when these are multiplied together, these two numbers, 5 and minus 1, when they're multiplied together, you get minus 5. And when you have 5 minus 1, you get 4. So that's what we want. And we rewrite this, y squared plus 5y minus 1y minus 5 equals 0. And we're going to factorize it now. We're going to put these into two separate categories. Put our brackets in. So what can we take out of this? Well, we can take a y out of both. And let's check and see if we're right. Y multiplied by y is y squared. Y multiplied by 5 is 5y. And that's right, so we can write in here 5, or y plus 5. And then what would I multiply y by to become minus 1y? Well, I multiply it by minus 1. And if I multiply minus 1 by plus 5, it becomes minus 5. So we are correct. So y minus 1 and y plus 5. Now we want to find out what y is equal to for each of these. So y minus 1 equals 0 and y plus 5 equals 0. And if I plus 1 to both sides on the left here, I'm left with y is equal to 1. And if I minus 5 to both sides here, I'm left with y is equal to minus 5. And now that I know this, I'm going to go up to here. And I'm going to go y is equal to 1. And over here, a little bit more space, is y is equal to minus 5. And I take the original linear equation, the original one, x minus 2y equals 3. X minus 2y equals 3. And now I'm going to substitute in 1 for y here, and over here I'll substitute in minus 5 for y. So if I substitute in 1 for y here, x minus 2 multiplied by 1 just stays the same, minus 2 equals 3. And here, if I plus 2 to both sides, I'm left with x is equal to 5. So our answer here is 5 and 1. And over here, x minus 2 multiplied by minus 5 equals 3. So here you're left with x minus 2 by minus 5 is plus 10, and that's equal to 3. So if I minus 10 from both sides, I am left with x is equal to minus 7. Okay? And that means that our answer here is minus 7 and minus 5. And they are our two answers. They are our two answers. If you're stuck, you can ask me about it in any of the live classes, or you can send me a comment.